Today on VIP TV, great to have a catch up with Liam Williams. He had his world title fight against Demetrius Andrade. Come out of that fight, not the result he wanted, but a lot of respect from the boxing world. Well, how are you, Liam? You know, a couple months on.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm not too bad. Obviously, it was a little bit disappointing. The result it's not what we wanted, and well, certainly not what I wanted anyway. But you know, you live and learn. Shit happens. You move forward, and you know, hopefully come out the other end better, which I think I will from that. So, you know, it is what it is. Again, disappointing, but we keep moving forward.
Yeah, just without dwelling too much on it, just, you know, obviously it takes time to get over it. When you think back now, have you looked at the fight at all? First of all,
to be honest with you, I haven't really watched. I haven't sat down and like analysed the fight, but I've just watched little bits. To be honest with you, I watched the part where he knocked me down probably 100 times, just like just pissed off with him more than anything, to be honest with you. But you know, it got me a little bit off guard. If I remember rightly, the ref had started saying something to me, kind of pushed me back, and I don't know why, but for some reason I was still kind of focused on the ref. And by the time I'd already been hit with a you know, perfect 1-2. So credit to him, good shot. You know, he done what he had to do. And you know, since the fight, nothing but respect for him, because he's very good at what he does.
Yeah. Just one last question on it. When you know, from the bits you've seen, is there anything you would have done differently that where you think it might have made a difference on the night?
Not really, to be honest with you, Steve, because I honestly feel like, you know, I made a good account. I tried doing certain things, tried worked on. I could have started putting the pressure on a little bit earlier, you know, because he was hitting me. He was hitting me with some good shots, and I was kind of willing to take him to get on the inside and do my work. And I just feel like I should have tried building a little bit more momentum a bit earlier in the fight, which if I did, then who knows. But I don't know what. It's no point going back too much over it now, because what's done is done. I gained my experience, and I honestly think moving forward that we'll just progress and be better from it.
Yeah, and since the fight, is it right you've had a shoulder problem or some shoulder injury or a surgery?
Yeah, to be honest with you, no one knew about it before the fight, but I've been suffering a little bit for probably 5 months, I would say, even in the build up and everything for the fight. But I think when I was training every day, twice a day, most days, it was staying active. And you know, when I was in the gym, it took a couple of rounds to warm up and whatnot. But I think after the fight, I had like 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, maybe, before I even tried going back to the gym to have a good break. And obviously the missus was due and stuff like that. So, but when I actually tried going back to the gym, where I had stopped training a bit, it's like as if it had seized up. And then when I was trying to use it again, it was just like, fuck, this is really painful, like, you know. So when I had my scan, I had a scan I had the scan 5 weeks after the fight, because I was hoping that, you know, a little bit of a rest would make things right. But the scan was all that time after the fight, and even when the consultant looked at it, he said, like, it must be bad, because even like all the bones around the area, they're still lighting up very light now and white, which shows a lot of bruising of the bones. So as I said, that was 5 weeks after. So he took a good look at it, and he said, I can see the problem. You know, there's no point even trying to rehab it or whatnot. You may as well get it done first as last. So I said, when's the nearest appointment? And we got in the week after. It was actually the AC joint. Obviously a lot of wear and tear over the years. It's gone down, and the cartilage and whatever else in between the joint, to allow a bit of cushion. And let's just say it was totally gone, and it was bone on bone. So which explains the the bruising of the bones themselves.
So is the big hope now that you can get through your career without this injury cropping up again? Has the doctor given you any guarantee? Because it sounds quite a nasty thing that that shoulders, joints, once they do have a habit of becoming a recurring problem. And I don't think you're at a stage in your career now where you're going to want layoff after layoff just to rest your shoulder.
No, definitely not. He did say to be fair that he thinks this will be the answer to it. It feels it's only been 11 days, I think, since I had the op, and it's feeling so much better already. I've been very tempted to go back to the gym, I'll be honest with you, but he told me like 4-6 weeks, so I better just keep resting. I am going to try and have my first run tonight, because obviously I haven't been able to since the op, because with the the bouncing up and down the weight of my body, it was painful. So I think I'm going to try and have a run tonight and see where we go from there. If I feel any kind of niggles, then I'll just knock around the head for another week and make sure it's 100% right before overdoing it.
Yeah. So when do you think you might be, boxing again? Will you box? Will you be fit enough to box late this year, or will it be early next year now?
Oh, 100% this year. At first, I was saying September, October. But then I was like, being realistic, is that going to be a bit of a push? But I think, I reckon by November, I'll be good to go again. Another 3, maybe 4 weeks without punching and doing, any heavy impact, and I'll be right to go back. Whereas in the meantime, I can get myself half fit, running wise, and start getting myself back in shape. So I reckon November would be a realistic time for me.
Yeah, I mean, I see Frank's mentioned, maybe going back to domestic level to start with, and maybe fighting Felix Cash. Is that a fight that appeals to you?
Not really, if I'm being totally honest with you, Steve.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I'm guessing you can understand that I don't really want to fight for British Commonwealth title again. With respect to great titles and everything, but I honestly feel like I'm kind of past that level now. I've done my years of hanging around at that level, and I think I just want to fight somebody with a good world ranking, high world ranking, which I could take from them, possibly lead me on to another world title fight. And so that's what we're aiming towards. But I think also I seen Gabe Rosado had a good win over the weekend.
Yeah, great win.
That's someone who, I think he's kind of a gatekeeper at that world level, and that's another fight I'd be interested in. Who else? Dignam.
Got a world ranking. Yeah.
I think is he like number 5 or 7?
I've got the ranking. You're number 4 with a WBO. You're number 7.
He's number 4.
Yeah, he's the rankings I've got here. He's number 4. You're number 7.
Exactly. So that he's with MTK as well. I think that's quite a realistic fight.
Yeah.
And it's one which makes sense for me and him, because obviously I've been at that level, and if he beats me, you kind of show he's ready. If I beat him, I take his ranking, and people know I'm ready to be at that level anyway. So I just think that makes sense, but we'll see whatever they can offer me, really, to be honest.
I like the thought of you and Rosado, because as a journalist, it isn't just a great fight. The build-up will be fantastic, because he's not scared of having his say, and you're certainly not.
Yeah, sorry, mate, lost there. Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be an interesting one. It's more than just a fight as well, because we both speak our minds and all that kind of stuff. So I think it will be interesting for the fans to watch, upcoming weeks and stuff, as well as the fight himself. Will be quite action packed, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you are, making middleweight. Is super middleweight an option? Because you have mentioned it over the last year, not in, oh, you're going to do it tomorrow. Is that an option for you if the opportunities were there?
Yeah, 100%. To be honest, right now I am a middleweight, but I feel like I'm quite big for the weight. I'm solid. I don't make it easy by any stretch of imagination. So if the right opportunity comes, for sure, 100%, move up to 168, and I'm not afraid to take on anybody.
Yeah, and of course the Chris Eubank fight. That's one. I mean, it might be hard to make, but that's another one people would appeal to the public, should we say?
Yeah, that's been talked about quite a lot, and to be honest, that probably interests me more than the others. To be honest with you, just because the magnitude of the fights is a big fight to get everybody talking. Every time I see people in the street, when are you going to fight Eubank? When are you going to bust that dickhead Eubank? That's all this kind of stuff. So it's obviously that's one which really interests me.
Yeah. And one final question before we let you go: how's life as a dad again for the second time?
It's good. All going well. I'm very tired. I'm burned out, to be honest with you. But it's kind of come at a good time that they had this shoulder operation and a chance to be home for a few weeks and play my part. So it's been good. But I am looking forward to going back to Sheffield as well, and have my own space, good solid sleeps through the night. And, but yeah, nice. Joke aside, it's been good. It's awesome to be a father again, and to a boy now, as well as having a girl, obviously.
Yeah, it's brilliant for you. Even though you got the sleepless nights, they're all gone for me. But it's just a brilliant time for you. But if that, you haven't had the boxing result you wanted, but to have a baby, your first son, makes up for so much, I guess.
Exactly, mate. Yes, I'm blessed, really. It's a good time in my life.
Yeah, and how's Domingo? Has he been telling you get that Sheffield, get back to Sheffield the minute that shoulder's better?
Yeah, he has. He's actually just been texting me just before he got the phone. Just not so much, boxing related, but he's going to send on a gift for the baby and whatnot.
Oh, lovely.
So that's kind of him. But yeah, I'm looking forward to be back up and around the lads, and mainly just get back on my own path and get back to where I want to be.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can. I mean, it wasn't it wasn't a defeat where you think, wow, you don't, but you showed you can compete and win at that level. So it's not, there's been far worse. It's not great for you, but there's been far worse defeats in world title fights.
Yeah, of course, Tab. Yeah, I definitely believe I belong at that level. Most people, I think, a lot of people wouldn't have survived, the early onslaught I had from him. Obviously got dropped. I did get hurt. He's hit me some big shots and everything. So, and I come back and pushed him right to the end. And obviously, it's all well and good saying this, but you just imagine that was a 15-round fight like the old days.
Yeah, well, there you go. I tell you what, you would love 15-round fights, you as well. Because you're a bit of a caveman. I mean that in a complimentary sense, by the way, calling you a caveman.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something I would love, because that really drags people in, and really, it really has to make fighters show what are you really about, and how much grit have you got and determination. So it's it would be good, but it's all well and good saying that. Them days gone, and we're in the era now. Yeah.
We're in an era now where it's all safety first, I suppose. They got to look after fighters' health, because a lot of these guys are making weight and things, and 15 rounds. I don't know. I mean, I was around when 15-round times, but I think of it now and I think, another 9 minutes. That's a long time.
Also, is when you're blowing out your ass, and then it's a long way. But when you're on top, it's nice then, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's cavemen. Like, yeah, you're in good company. It'd be cavemen like you and Carl Froch would just love 15-rounders. The real beasts of the game.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Liam, it's been great catching up with you. I'll let you get back to your family, mate. I'm sure they need you more than you need me at the moment. So you get back to the game, and thanks for giving us the time today.
Good man. Thanks very much, Steve.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.